Sounded like a train coming through our yard. The building was shaking.
A tornado causes a lot of damage. Video of what was left behind after the twister just ahead.
Plus, rate increase proposal on your electric bill, but how much more you could pay depends on who gets their say. We'll tell you about this.
Also, thieves targeting those who protect us. How far firefighters are having to go to stop the thefts coming up. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Adam Atchison.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Crystal Gutierrez. Thanks so much for joining us on this finally Friday morning. It is August 5th. We will get to our stories in just a bit, but first we are talking weather. Take a look at this video sent in to us from viewer David Baker, capturing flooded streets in northeast Albuquerque last night. It's near Waterbow and Copper. You can see drivers slowing down to get through the roads there. Across the metro, viewers sent in more video of lightning flashing across the sky. This one sent in from Sharnetta Charlie, getting a great shot of some lightning bolts there. Over in the southwest part of the town, Aaron Denise Lucero got video of several lightning strikes there that lit up Albuquerque sky as well. Remember, you send them, we will share them. You're helping us tell the weather story this morning, and it is not over yet.
Yeah, Kristen Curry's monitoring the very latest on the forecast this morning, which includes more rain for Friday.
Oh yeah, more rain today and actually a little bit more rain for the weekend as well. So let's start with this morning. Not a whole lot happening out east. We do have just a handful of showers across the northwestern corner right now, and these are generally pushing to the northeast. We're going to be watching these showers and storms fade on and off through this morning, although I think way better coverage as we pass the noon hour. Temperatures this morning, we're going to start our Friday at 64 in Clayton. Good morning, Clovis. 66 in your area. We've got a mix of the 60s and 70s to the south. As far as the northwest goes, low to mid 60s. In Albuquerque, we're about the same at 68. Relative humidity this morning, it's a little bit soggy out there. As far as the Santa Fe area goes, 93% relative humidity. You're certainly feeling the moisture across the entire board, but that's good news for us. That means it's still there. We have another shot of scattered to widespread storms this afternoon. We can warm up, though, on the way, and some of us will see a drying trend over the next few days, but we're not completely dry. We do need to watch for just a handful of storms firing up, not only Saturday, but Sunday as well. So I'm going to break down your entire forecast. We'll go over who was favored for the storms, as well as just how warm our temperatures will be over the weekend. That's coming up here in just about 15 minutes.
As you prepare to head out this weekend, expect to see more orange barrels.
Yeah, more lanes expected to be closed for bridge maintenance work on I-25 this weekend. News 13's Sarah Yingling has all the details. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Crystal. Crews will continue bridge work on I-25 southbound over Manal Boulevard starting at 9 tonight. Now, this is southbound only as you approach the I-25 and I-40 interchange. That means there will be left and right lane closures. Those closures will begin tonight and open back up on Monday morning at 5. This as NMDOT workers continue to complete bridge maintenance work that is scheduled during weekends throughout the month of August. Again, these closures will begin tonight at 9 and will reopen Monday morning at 5. You can check up on this and other road closures on our KRQE News app.
All right, thanks so much, Sarah. We move on to some developing news this morning. New documents obtained by News 13 show Albuquerque fire stations are hot spots for crime. Crooks are targeting AFD stations across town, most notably at Station 3 on Girard near Central. In late June, firefighters called police reporting someone broke into their station while they were sleeping and stole electronics. Then in July, again at Station 3, a thief snuck inside the rescue truck and ransacked it. There's also been several car break-ins at Station 9. The crime problem prompted union members to install surveillance cameras nearby.
Coming up on 6:04 News this morning, the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission is expected to vote later this year on how much your electric bill could increase. According to the Santa Fe New Mexican hearing examiner Carolyn Glick recommended that P&M raise its rates only about a third of what the company wanted. P&M wanted originally to raise rates for customers by more than $13, but Glick recommended the company only raise its rates from $5 to $7. The president of P&M is calling that recommendation disappointing.
On to news happening today. Donald Trump and running mate Mike Pence will present a unified front as they rally together in the key states of Iowa and Wisconsin. However, Pence recently split with Trump once again yesterday, voicing his support for the re-election bids of two senators that did include John McCain. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton that is set to address a joint convention for African American and Hispanic journalists in Washington, while running mate Tim Kaine holds an event in Wisconsin.
Also happening today, Chicago's police department is expected to release lapel camera video showing the deadly shooting of an unarmed black teen. 18-year-old Paul O'Neill was fatally shot in the back last week after police suspected that he had stolen a car. Today's video release is part of a new policy that requires the department to release video of incidents like this within 60 days. The policy is meant to restore public confidence in the department. Also today, a San Diego police officer who was shot in his patrol car will be buried. 16-year veteran officer Jonathan de Guzman was attacked along with his partner last month. His partner is expected to survive. The shooting suspect has pleaded not guilty to murder and attempted murder. More than 1,100 people attended a funeral mass for him yesterday. De Guzman will be buried today after a police processional and a 21-gun salute.
On to news happening today. Cleanup is underway in a town in Florida after a tornado ripped through, destroying just about everything in its path. Take a look at this video here. It caused some serious damage at one business.
You're looking at steel right there. You can get up here and look at that. Feel that. That's solid.
And it just ripped it right off.
Looks like a can opener just went right around it.
This is surveillance video from the truck yard. You can see the winds were so strong, it lifted a trucking container, then flipped it onto its side. The tornado struck yesterday afternoon. According to a news station in Florida, the trucking containers weighed about 10,000 pounds. Several homes are damaged. Good news here, no one reportedly hurt.
Santa Fe deputies are awaiting DWI blood test results this morning after a bad rollover crash. Newly released lapel video from Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputies shows the aftermath on a highway near Los Alamos. It happened last month when deputies say Raymond Martinez was driving drunk on Highway 502. Investigators say Martinez's head went into the driver's side windshield and the car slammed into a rock wall. Martinez and his passenger were taken to the hospital.
She told me she was a driver at first. She kept holding her right shoulder, and I said, hey, you know why that is? Because you were in the passenger seat.
They say that Martinez eventually fessed up and admits to drinking more than 7 shots before getting behind the wheel. And in Santa Fe, officers are searching for an armed robber this morning accused of holding up the Dollar General on Airport Road. Police say the robbery suspect shot into the air before he left on Tuesday evening. He's described as an Hispanic man in his mid-20s with tattoos on his neck.
On to news out of Chimayo this morning. A store clerk is recovering today after story deputies say she was roughed up during an attempted robbery on Monday. Take a look at the video here. Deputies say the 78-year-old woman was handing a man his change when he grabbed her arms. The two struggled for a bit. The woman was able to break free and call 911. The man then drove off in an SUV. If you recognize the suspect, call the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office.
Time now 6:07. A lot of people are excited this morning for the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games, which are taking place in Rio, Brazil. This is a live look there now.
Yeah, the opening ceremony for this year's Summer Olympics begins in just hours. Brazilian military police and firefighters are making the final preps before things begin this evening. USA team is already in Rio and ready to go. Among them, the most decorated Olympian ever, swimmer Michael Phelps, with 22 medals. He will carry the stars and stripes at tonight's opening ceremonies. Phelps, like all of the athletes, hopes to bring home the gold. Soccer games have already begun. The American women's soccer team beat New Zealand. Thousands of fans from around the world will get a taste of the Olympics in South America for the first time ever. Good
So
luck.
much to see over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. And good luck to all of them.
Look, speak English, it's America.
A racially charged rant getting a lot of clicks today. Why this woman says she went off, plus how the victim behind the camera is answering back.
Also staying staffed as police departments across the state struggle to stay at 100%. A Santa Fe councilor wants the city to step in. What he's proposing just ahead.
And new this morning, a former school superintendent facing fraud charges. Why the PED asked police to get involved. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Crystal Gutierrez.
I'm Adam Atchison. Good to have you along. Friday, August 5th. Day's top stories in just a moment. First, we got to talk about weather and video sent in from viewers this morning. In fact, David Baker captured some flooding at Juan Tabo and Copper. You can see drivers braving saturated roads. Across the metro, other drivers saw much of the same. Video from downtown shows the streets lit up there, but sidewalks virtually empty. In the South Valley, our crews captured the rain coming down pretty hard near Isleta Boulevard. Remember, you're helping us tell the weather story. You can send your pictures and videos to Report It as we expect to see more rain.
We sure do. And here's Kristen Curry with the latest. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that monsoon continues to pretty much just sit over Arizona and New Mexico. We're still looking at storms later today. Even this morning, some showers holding themselves together out across San Juan County and even McKinley County. This is pushing into Rio Arriba County. So places like Chama, Dulce, Cuba, I expect you to get in on some of this later on this morning. Hey, temperatures to start in the 50s and 60s up to the north. We've got 60s and 70s out of our southern areas here. 68 in Albuquerque, but Carlsbad, 74 degrees, pretty comfortable, although you guys did miss out on most of that rain yesterday, and I don't have a lot in the forecast for you later on today. Not to say we won't see anything. We've got more of the scattered storms on the way for the rest of the afternoon, and the weekend warm-up still likely to stay on track, but we're still going to be looking at a few of these pockets of rain over the weekend, so some of us need to be very careful if you are going to be outside, because we could be looking at even still that lightning threat and the threat of flash flooding. So I have a lot to talk about for you today. I'm going to break down everything you need to know over the weekend too. That's coming up here in just about 15 minutes.
Thanks so much, Kristen. We start with new news this morning. Police say he's a fake. Now, the man they say once led an entire school district without an education license is facing serious charges.
43-year-old Charles Trujillo was booked into the San Miguel County Detention Center overnight, accused of fraud. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is here with the details. Catherine?
Good morning, Adam. Crystal. New Mexico State Police say Trujillo worked as associate superintendent of the Pecos Independent School District, then more recently as the superintendent of the Mora Independent School District. Thing is, the public education department hired him based on allegedly fraudulent documents. New Mexico State Police started an investigation after the public education department told them Trujillo's personnel file just didn't add up. A newspaper report tipped off the PED. It indicated his educator licenses were fake. State police agents say they found the then Mora superintendent falsified information on job applications to get several positions in education. They say he also submitted forged licenses and claimed to have certifications and degrees he didn't. Agents say fraud allowed this unqualified individual to climb the ladder to superintendent, serving Mora and San Miguel. DA Richard Flores says he plans to file criminal complaints in both counties, charging Trujillo with a total of 13 second-degree felonies. That's according to the Las Vegas Optic. The paper also claims Trujillo's family helped him dupe the system. It alleges his cousin wrote an employment verification letter for him, and Trujillo's uncle, acting as chairman of the Mora School Board, was the vote Trujillo needed to obtain the superintendent contract with a salary of $100,000 a year. Back to you.
All right, Catherine, thank you. State Police's Investigations Bureau worked on this case for almost a year. Police picked up Trujillo on an arrest warrant last night in Albuquerque, according to the Las Vegas Optic.
Today marks 1 year since the Gold King mine spill, and according to the state, the water still is not safe. The spill sent millions of gallons of toxic waste into the Animas and San Juan rivers. Now, a state scientist says the lead levels are at 900 parts per million. The acceptable level is 400 parts per million. However, the Environmental Protection Agency maintains the water is safe. New Mexico is now suing the EPA, the mine owner, and the state of Colorado. The governor says the state is facing a budget crisis and should not have to pay for ongoing monitoring.
Time 6:34 new this morning. An initiative to keep Santa Fe officers in Santa Fe is set to be heard in just under 2 weeks. According to the Albuquerque Journal, Santa Fe City Councilor Ron Trujillo has introduced a resolution asking the city's finance department to work with the police department on a plan to keep officers. Trujillo says the force is already short a few officers. He fears a new set of hiring incentives from Albuquerque's police department could pull even more officers away. APD says it plans to announce those incentives next week.
On to new details at 6. We now know the name of the Artesia officer involved in a deadly shooting last week. According to the Hobbs News-Sun, New Mexico State Police say Officer Beth Hahn is the officer who shot and killed 36-year-old Juan Duran in Artesia. State police also say Duran pointed a gun at officers more than once and ignored calls for him to drop it. He died at the scene. Officer Hahn has been with Artesia Police for more than 2 years. The shooting is still under investigation this morning. 6:35 now. On to news out of Washington, D.C., where President Obama is urging Congress move quickly on emergency funding to combat the Zika virus.
Yeah, the president says Congress is to blame for the lack of help in fighting the virus. He's pointing the finger at lawmakers who went on vacation before approving funding. Meanwhile, researchers at Walter Reed, who tested a possible Zika vaccine on monkeys, say they were completely protected. Scientists say the next step is testing the vaccine on people.
Developing story this morning, Ford is issuing a safety recall on 830,000 of its vehicles. Several models from the past 4 years have a defective side door, which may unlatch while driving. Dealers will replace those latches for free. Affected models include the 2013 through 2015 C-Max and Ford Escape, the 2012 through 2015 Ford Focus, the 2015 Mustang and Lincoln MKC, and the 2014 through 2016 Transit.
A Colorado woman is apologizing this morning after her racist rant went viral on Facebook.
Look, speak English, it's America. You're the ones that give the brown people bad name.
This video has been viewed more than 400,000 times on Facebook. Now the woman in it says there's more to the story. It all started when she saw a dog locked up in a hot car and confronted the owner. She says her emotions were running high and she resorted to racial attacks. The family who was verbally attacked is firing back now, saying there's no excuse for that sort of language.
Some Albuquerque restaurant and nightclub workers gearing up for a busy weekend are better prepared to help save lives. A group at the New Mexico Restaurant Association participated in a class learning what to do when someone shows up at a restaurant, not to eat or drink, but to possibly commit a deadly crime. The life-saving message is run, have an escape plan, hide, blocking the entry, then fight only when your life is in imminent danger.
What good is it going to be to hide under a desk and know that you're a sitting duck? You've got to be prepared to fight then, and fight to your last breath.
Albuquerque police recommend an online active shooter course produced by FEMA. There's also a 6-minute safety video on what you should do. We have the links on our website, krqe.com, where you can find the story on our KRQE News app. 6:37 now.